about your low fidelity prototype. All of you this week have been last week and this week have started on an outline for your app. It's called your user flow outline that you use to put together everywhere that your user travels through your app. So it basically has all of your screens, all of your buttons, shows everywhere through your app that you can travel until there's no links missing and it doesn't reach any dead ends. And you don't want to have any dead ends in your app because that basically means it goes to a section and there's no way for them to get out of it. There's no way to close the screen, there's no way to go back, there's no way to get back to the home screen to make another choice. They're stuck on the screen and they don't know how to get out. And you want to make sure that you don't have anything like that happen. So you put together a prototype. And the prototype is put together so you can test and make sure that everything in your app leads somewhere and that it's easy to go through it and that every single button goes where it's supposed to go and that you're not missing anything. So to do that, I've made some screen mock-ups for you, some templates. I had it upside down. You can print them out. I have them on D2L. I did one for Android and one for iOS or for iPhones, and you can pick whichever one you want to do, whichever one you want to create your app with. So go ahead and print these out. You can print them on your home printer, and then you can just draw up your mock-ups and your wireframes on these pages. Or you can go ahead and do it on just a plain piece of paper and draw all of it if you would like. It's up to you. But I thought I'd provide some of these for you just to make it a little bit simpler. So the first thing that you will be doing is you will be creating something like this. This is a wireframe. A wireframe is one of your screens and it shows everything that is on that page. So this is my home screen for my app. And this is the app based on the outline that I provided for you in D2L. So all of the examples that I'm going to provide now and through the end of the semester are based on my app, which is a photography business, and it's all going to come off of the same project, so you guys can follow it from the beginning to the end for all of my examples. So this is my home page. It shows an About Us section, a client portal, a calendar, a contact, and it has a slideshow. And all of these things, they're going to do something. Okay, the slideshow, it already shows right here that, it has buttons that move through it. So there's not much that I need to do that. But with these are all linking to a different screen. So when I push on the About Us button, it needs to go to the About Us section. And when I go to the calendar, it needs to go to the calendar section. So right now it's a wireframe. Well, what makes it become a wireframe? What moves it from a wireframe into a low fidelity prototype? Basically, the interactivity is what makes it a prototype instead of a basic wireframe. So this is a wireframe, just one page, and once it starts getting interactive, and you start adding interactive elements, like I would push on my little data entry here, and my keyboard pops up, then it's an interactive prototype. Even though it's just made out of paper, it actually shows me how the user moves through it. So you're going to want to add every single screen that your app travels to. So to do this, you're going to use a pencil, some markers, a Sharpie, and some scissors, and you'll probably need an eraser too. So it's kind of like an arts and crafts, like an art project prototype. You're not doing it on the computer yet, you're doing it on paper. And one of the reasons you create it on paper first is because it's really fast. Especially if you start first with a pencil. If you make a mistake and you realize you need to add something, you can add something and you can erase something. So I start and I go through and I do everything in pencil, and then I outline it with marker, and then I go through and I color code it. I use my color coding to show me where each thing leads. So here, if I have red with my About Us section, I outline it in red. So it shows me that there is a button there. And if I press on it, it goes to my About section. And you can see here in my About section, I have my whole About screen outlined in red. So it shows if I click on the red button, it goes to the red screen. If I click on the yellow button, it goes to the yellow screen. If the yellow screen has if the red screen has a green button on it, that's the green contact list button, then when I press on that, look, it goes to the green screen. Okay, I have some pink on here. Oh, if I press on the pink, that means I can enter something. Oh, my keyboard pops up. So I just use the color coding to guide myself through my app so you can see where it goes. and it's just an extra visual element that adds a little bit of understanding and direction to my app. So enjoy it this week. If you have questions, go ahead and send me a message. Have fun with this. It's kind of a fun part, and it's the first time you're actually going to see your app come to life. So animate it. It'll be fun. When I start doing my app, the first thing that I do is I start drawing my elements in with pencil. I put my user flow outline next to me, and I start with my main screen. I start with my main screen and I add the elements to it. And as I add each element, I put a check mark next to the listing of it on my form and on my outline, and that helps me make sure that I didn't miss anything. So I'm starting with pencil because if I make a mistake, I can go back and erase it and start over. Your app doesn't have to be perfect at first, you're just sketching right now. You're getting a general idea of what your app is going to look like. So right now, you're adding buttons and data entry input elements, and you're adding submission buttons, and you're adding pop-ups. You're adding things that your app does. So you're creating a wireframe, and by adding buttons and second frames, you are making it interactive. After I have everything sketched in with pencil and I know that I have everything correct and that I don't have any more changes to make, then I start going over my pencil drawing with a marker. And I just do this because it makes it easier to see. I don't have to worry about the pencil smudging, and it makes it a little bit more permanent. So I just go back and I outline everything with a marker and I trace around it. And then after it's marked in, I go over it with an eraser and I erase all of the pencil marks so it's easier to see. And I go through and I do that with every single one of my wireframes. Once I have my wireframes completed, an outline and marker, and I have my pencil marks erased, now I go back in with a colored marker. And what I do with the colored marker is I start linking my buttons to the screen or the element that they lead to. So if I push on a button and it leads to another screen, I make that button a color and I make that screen, I outline the screen in the color too. So I make sure I go through every element in my app and I use different colors to show what the interactivity does. So my yellow button goes to my yellow screen. And I just go through and I do everything color coded so I'm able to see what leads to what. Then if I find an element on my page that I don't have color coded, it tells me that I missed something. I might have a dead end, and I don't want to have a dead end. After I have all of my elements color-coded, and I make sure that I have no dead ends, I go through and I take a scissor and I cut everything out. I make sure on my home page I leave my cell phone so I have a base to work off of, and then I just trim the screens out of the following pages and the elements out. Keyboard won't be a full screen, it'll just cover part of the screen. And my pop-ups, they won't cover the full screen, they'll just cover part of the screen. So I just cut my pop-ups out. And I cut out my drop-down menu so I can show it like a drop-down. And once I have everything cut out, I'm ready to go ahead with my user testing.